Hey guys, what's up? Now we're here backing up another video. So today I'm going to be going over my Wamuu guide for ranked 1v1s. I'm going to be covering on his combos, my tips, and my counterplay for fighting Wamuu. And then I'm going to go over commentary for ranked 1v1s that I did with using Wamuu. If you do enjoy, make sure you like, sub, and hit that bell. And without any further ado, let's get right into the video. So before I cover the combos for Wamuu, I do want to discuss something that I missed in my first Wamuu guide, and that was win mode. Win mode for like 2 to 3 seconds boosts your damage on all of your moves. So that's something to keep in mind in the back of your head. Maybe you guard break your opponent. There you go. You can quickly enter win mode and then go for M1s to whatever you want to do. Now, Wamuu doesn't have a lot of combos you can do in base, but he does have a combo extender, so you still have some stuff you can do. The main combo you're going to be going for is M1s into Rising Gale Tornado Whips. This is going to do a decent amount of damage, about close to half their HP, very solid, and it's going to be your go-to for your damage. You don't have to do M1s into it. You can just like roll Rising Gale and then do 4-on-1s Tornado Whips. It's the same damage, same combo, just done in a different order. And something I do want to clarify very quickly is you cannot do Rising Gale into Kick. It is P blockable, as you just saw in the clip. You can try on it. You can try it on an opponent, and it's likely going to work against most people. But against a player who knows what they're doing and has very good matchup experience, they'll know to PB that, and you're going to be in a sucky spot when that happens, as it doesn't send you very far. And one last combo I want to cover before moving on to Wamuu Awakening is going to be Sandstorm into win mode into Sandstorm. After you guard break your opponent, you're able to quickly enter win mode and mash 5, and they cannot do anything about it. They just have to take the full damage of the boosted attack. It's kind of hard to judge when you get a guard break, and this only works if you immediately do it after you guard break them. But trust me, it works. So if you just really expect it, it's something that's keeping in the back of your mind. But it's kind of hard to do if you're thinking on your feet. So now, Wamuu's Awakening. Wamuu's Awakening is a decent upgrade from its base because it actually has a lot more combo potential. You can do a lot more with Rising Gale. And not just that. So you're still going to do 4-on-1s into Rising Gale Tornado Whips, or Whip. But you also could do now 4-on-1s into Rising Gale Hurricane Drive. I'll go into why you probably shouldn't do this, but it's there, it's more damage, so why not if you get the opportunity. And the other combo you can now do is M1s into Rift. You don't have to use Rising Gale into Rift, but it is more damage and it is true. So your best combo with this is going to be 4-on-1s into Rising Gale into Rift. And that actually might be your best combo in Awakening, period. This damage also is going to get increased if you use any of these combos from win mode. So yeah. With that, we'll be moving on to the tips. Now, what are my tips for using Wamuu? Now, starting with base, I do want to say that his base doesn't have that many combos. And before I even go into that, I guess Hurricane Drill or Horn Drill. The move is pretty bad as a guard break, but it is a pretty solid punish tool. It is granted that you do have better ones, like if the enemy's close to you, you could roll and use Rising Gale, and you get a combo off of that. Or you could just go into win mode and then exit win mode quickly and use Sandstorm, and you're getting more damage off of that. But Horn Drill is an option if not for some reason, because the move has a long cooldown, but if Sandstorm is off cooldown and you aren't close enough to roll Rising Gale, then you can quickly into win mode, use Horn Drill, and then boom, you get 18 damage off. So it is a solid punish option if your other ones are just currently not obtainable. You're going to want to use Hurricane Drive as your main guard break because, well, it's just has less startup, has less end lag, is less predictable, is less punishable than a Horn Drill. So you primarily don't want to be using it as damage, but mostly as the guard break, right? And you want to be throwing out Sandstorm to, as I've already said, punish people. That's going to be your big punish tool. And you can use Rising Gale to do that also, but they're not always going to be right next to you to punish them, and sometimes it's kind of easy to mess that up. Moving on to Wamuu Awakening. Wamuu's Awakening is a very solid upgrade from his base, as it has a lot more combo potential, a lot more things you can do. Again, you're going to be saving Hurricane Drive as mainly the guard break, but you have other options for your combos, such as M1's Rift, M1's Rising Gale Rift, M1's Drive if you don't have any other moves and just want to finish off your opponent or something like that, or you can use Rising Gale, Hurricane, or Tornado Whip. Now, again, you want to be kind of not using Horn Drive as a guard break and mostly a punish tool, and you have other moves that do that better, but an additional punish tool that guard breaks is kind of welcome, even though it's kind of bad. But overall, in Awakening, you definitely want to stay away from using this move in base. Not as much. You can use it as it's alright punish tool. So yeah, with that, moving on to the counterplay. Now, Wamuu is a character that he can play in the way he wants to play, which is counterplay or aggressive. He can play aggressive for Rising Gale or his Hurricane Drive, or he can just focus on punishing you with Royal Rising Gale, Divine Sandstorm, or Horn Drill. So you want to make sure that you're looking out for those things. But how do you do that? With Horn Drill, I can't really explain it in a really complicated manner. You see him like turn his head, which is the startup of the move, hold block, you'll PB it, roll towards him, you get a free combo out of it. The move is just not that great, and it should only be used as a punish tool, and if not, you need to capitalize on it. The kick is not as simple, it has less startup. If you can react to it, great for you, PB it of course, but if you cannot, I'd recommend most Wamuus, they roll towards you, they get near you before they do either Rising Gale or Hurricane Drive. So you want to make sure that when they get close to you, they roll towards you, you roll backwards, you roll to the side, anything to avoid the attack, and then you don't get hit. Or at least if you do get hit, you don't get severely punished for it, right? And my last tip for base is when he does the Divine Sandstorm, you have to make sure you are holding block. Make sure you're holding block, but not for the full duration though. When you get caught in the middle of it, hold block and walk out of it, right? And if you can't get out of it by the time it ends, then you just need to take the hit, unblock. The final hit, a lot of people, you'd be surprised, because I win a lot of 1v1s with Wamuu. I would mess up, they would block the attack, and they would just walk towards me and think that he could block throughout the whole thing, and they get guard broken. So trust me, that is something you want to look out for. Do not hold block throughout the entire duration. Hold block and walk out of it, and if that is not possible, let go of block on the final hit. Now, the final thing I will cover before moving on to Wamuu ranked 1v1s is the counterplay to his Awakening. Now, his Awakening is basically just an upgraded, harder to react to version of his base. The Wind Blast, you can PB it, as I've already mentioned. So if he does the move on you, it is not true. Trust me, it is not true. If you see the tornado around you, your first reaction needs to be to hold F. If you do that, you will block the attack and you'll be perfectly fine to punish him because you will have PB'd the attack. Same things follow for base. Rising Gale, if he rolls towards you, he's probably going for Rising Gale or Drive, so you want to just roll backwards so you can either avoid the attack or just not get a combo on you. And the last attack that I need to discuss is Rift. Rift is a move that has very low startup and is very hard to react to. So you want to make sure that, well, maybe you want to make sure that you're strafing. Move to the right, move to the left. Don't move in a straight pattern because then he's just going to be able to hit you easily. But if you're moving to the left or the right, you have a chance of avoiding the first strike of Rift. And then once you avoid that first strike, hold block. That should give you enough time to react, hold block, and boom, you basically just don't get punished for using the attack. And unlike the Divine Sandstorm, you can actually it doesn't guard break on the final hit, so you'll be perfectly fine. And I guess win mode is the most simple option, well, not simple option, but simple explanation for counterplay in both base and awakening. Just don't stand still, and it's really not complicated. Run. He can't catch up to you. And if you hear like the sound cue for the 5, then hold block and walk out of it, like I've already mentioned previously. Same thing goes for Rift, but I guess for Rift you just make sure you're strafing when you're running away so that you can do the things that I just mentioned for counterplaying Rift. But yeah, that's about it for the rest of the guide. Let's move on to the ranked 1v1s of me using Wamuu. Okay, so for the first match, we have Apollinaire on Mario. Mario is probably my favorite ranked map and out of all the maps. It's very flat. There's not much cheese that you can do besides going behind the market, and even that's not really too annoying, to be honest. Not many people do that, and even if it comes to that, you typically can still beat them. But Coliseum cheese is just a lot more annoying and prevalent. I used 4 to maybe catch a block there, and you see he's holding block, and he played that right. He walked out of it, and he PB'd Horn Drill. I could see he's pretty solid at the game, or at least knows a little bit about what he's doing. I was able to kind of walk out of his barrage there, so I could see he's not perfect at the game, and I assumed he was going to do that, and I should have PB'd it, but that's first stock. I haven't gotten much damage in, so I got to figure out a way to close the gap. I'm going to probably stay away from Horn Drill, because it's like, if you see your opponent PB Horn Drill, then you know, okay, I can't just throw it out. And he got a guard break on me, so that's half my HP. But you see, I walked into his barrage, and I did the thing I told you to do in my tips, which was walk into the enemy and try to get a Rising Gale off. So then I got Rising Gale barrage, and you saw the Sandstorm. I'm in win mode just so I could get my cooldowns back a little bit and tried to hit Horn Drill, but the wall obscured my view. It's very close. He hit me with the stun now, and I'm trying to walk out of it, and then I just tried to walk into him. And I PB'd his final hit. That was an accidental PB, but I needed that. So he has like an 80 HP lead on me right now, and I just gotta figure out a way to close the gap, because that can get big easily. I didn't think he would hold block, but still Horn Drill doesn't connect. And I got him with 4. I didn't expect him to block. Dang, he's good at that. Alright, and I caught him with the 5 there. I kind of throw out Sandstorm randomly, and I just kind of guessed like what's my opponent's going to do there. That was dumb. That's the best projectile in the game, in my opinion. It doesn't have a lot of startup. You can't PB it. It's a guard break. It's just, and it does solid damage too. Probably that's definitely the best projectile in the game, and one of the best guard breaks in the game, easily. So I just got to figure out a way to, I guess, break through, because right now he has about 80 HP above me. Nothing much has changed, and the gap is just getting bigger. Punished him with Horn Drill. Probably gonna go in. That was a pretty bad choice. I should have just used 5. Now I don't have a guard break. He spawned right next to me, so there's that. But he wasted his best guard break, so now I get Rising Gale into Horn Drill. It's a pretty active match. Like, there's always stuff happening in this match. That's why I like fighting top tier characters such as Fortero, Apollinaire, Doppio. Because sometimes some Doppios play well, and another guard break. Dang, I cannot be letting that happen. But and I missed that, but I was able to get my own barrage off and knocked him back. And I don't think I caught him with the 5. I'm not entirely sure what he's doing. And I just kind of guessed with that move. Missed my 4. He missed his guard break, so it's whatever. And that was a good play on his part. Probably should go win mode right now. Oh, I canceled his barrage with Rising Gale, and now he's dead. So he has, I would say, about a stock lead right now. Not exactly a stock lead, but now it's a stock lead. I can't awaken. I like to save my awakenings for when I'm like 50% or lower, so that I can get used to the HP buff that I get, or regen. Then I kind of messed that up. Not kind of. And then he got the barrage off. I'm trying to walk into him to punish him. Did not work out. Missed his projectile. He doesn't have a good guard break right now. but the rest of his moves are pretty fast. And he canceled it with M1s. I did not PB that. I need to PB that attack. He's just getting a lot of free damage on me, and it is not good. But I was able to get Rising Gale into Horn Drill. Try to get some M1s off. But debating, I'm just going to Awaken. Yeah, because I'm taking way too much damage, and it's just not working out for me in the end. He tried to punish me, and he almost guard broke me right there. Hit him with Rising... No, I didn't hit him with Rising Gale. This is not looking good right now. My Awakening is not putting in much work, and I'm taking way too much damage. So I just throw out a Panic Rift to see what will happen. My Wind Blast doesn't work out for me, and I'm just dying right now. And now I'm dead. There's probably a low chance of getting my Awakening again in the match, so that probably could have cost me... Well, not could have, but cost me the match. Probably could have even made the match. I tried to hit him before. If you don't know, if you hit Polnareff, I think with 10 damage, maybe just any damage, it cancels the attack. But his Awakening, in my opinion, is just not that great. I walk into his barrage, hit him with that barrage, block his whatever. He just stays in it. He was playing that pretty well, but he could have punished me if he just didn't do that. I'm not... he had a guard break, but he missed. Now I know he doesn't have a guard break at all. Another reason why his guard break kind of sucks. Well, not a guard break, but his Awakening sucks. One guard break and Awakening? Whatever, dude. Dies. Now he's on his final stock. I'm at 50 HP. I gotta figure out a way to close the gap. I did get him with that, so I hit him with 4-on-1s. I am shaking right now. You can see. And I got another guard break off. I should have just hit him with 5, but I got 4-on-1s into that move. I'm trying to punish him with the Atmosphere. No, it's a Sandstorm. And it's basically GG. I just got to figure out a way to get some damage off. Tried to hit him with Horn Drill, but he canceled it with damage. I've taken a lot, and I'm just kind of freaking out. I'm very scared. Tried to hit him with the kick, did not work. He's trying to just get some damage off on me, and he got M1s into the stun barrage to finish me off. Very good match on both sides. I made a lot of mistakes, and that added up to a loss, but GG. Moving on from that very climactic but disappointing match, we're facing a Stroheim, which can pose some problems as I don't have a lot of ranged moves, and the ranged moves I do have, they're only mid-range / just inconsistent. Horn Drill. So I gotta figure out a way to break through. Stroheims, people have struggled with them, but every Stroheim I ever faced is the most predictable human being in the world. They get close to you, and then they use their stun, or you get close to them, they use their stun, and then they immediately follow up with Barrage so that they can't get punished for it. He's just going to stand in there and hold block because he doesn't realize it guard breaks in the final hit. So then I wait a second, probably should have win mode, but my brain doesn't work that fast. And I do stuff. I know he's not the greatest player, so I just want to test out what would his reaction be when he saw Horn Drill, and I guess he just didn't expect that. So yeah, caught him with 4 after win mode, and he died. You don't want to be doing what he does. Just run away, run in the opposite direction, and be dashing, of course. Block after he uses guard break. I noticed a block, and he doesn't have any guard breaks besides that one move that's easy to read. Hold block, and then I punish him after he rolls towards me. Because Stroheims, I'm telling you, Stroheims are the most predictable characters in the game to fight. Actually, one of the most predictable. There's probably another one that I can't think of off the top of my head. That hurt, but I am still alive. Yeah, I can't. There might be a more... Cars is kind of predictable too, but whatever. I have a little bit of a lead, but nothing crazy. Maybe that's gone now after I took that laser. Blocked that laser, then I hit him with Rising Gale, and then Barrage. I don't like trying to cancel his Barrage because a lot of times I just mess up, but you'll see. I think I actually did that in a match and I messed up. And that is not true. That is not a thing you can do. I wanted to specify. Horn Drill into M1s is not a thing. If the enemy just holds block or mashes, they'll punish you for it. So that's why I also want to specify, don't use Horn Drill. Close range, only use only use Horn Drill as a punish tool. Never close range, and never when your enemy is just ready for anything mid-range, because basically it's just, oh, I see the move, block. You have so much time to react. It's a pretty close match still. He's not really zoning as much as you would expect with a Stroheim. He's just kind of throwing up stun and hoping that it works out. Hitting with Rising Gale, and then my barrage I think canceled his Heinlich grenade, or Feinlich grenade I think it's called. Guard broke him with Horn Drill. That is something you rarely see. And in that instance, I could have went in win mode and gotten a little bit more damage off, but I did not. Punish him with Rising Gale into 4-on-1s. I think that's Horn Drill? Not Horn Drill. It's kind of hard for me to see on my screen right now, but Tornado, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Tornado Whips, that's what it's called. So you see, I'm just trying to, I guess, just catch him off guard, going invisible. But I think he's already seen me, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. I caught him with Horn Drill, so that's 18 damage. That's something you can do, but against any opponent that's smart, they'll be ready to block, because you can't really do much. If they expect a win mode and they expect you to use one of your moves, it's kind of like, what are they gonna do? That was an interesting play, but you have iframes immediately after you awaken for like time stop, anything of the sort, so it's kind of like whatever. It doesn't really work that well with time stop because it takes way too long to walk out. Missed Wind Blast, kind of just staying invisible because his awakening is very much so, I guess you could say, insane. Yeah, like bro, why did he got rewarded for just using that at the weirdest range? He still has his guard break, so I'm avoiding that. Just being a little bit cautious, but he's gotten a little bit of spine on him now since he's awakened. He's just trying to get as much damage in, but I caught him with Rift to punish him, as it has low startup and a very good move. Just going invisible to see if I can catch him off guard. Somehow that worked. That should not have worked. That was lucky, actually, because I saw him use the grenade. Think I hit him with Wind Blast, which is solid damage, but now I'm gonna die to that. I have a decent lead now. I doubt there's any way for him to come back, but anything's really possible, I guess, if he just starts playing smart. And by smart, I mean start actually zoning, because as I already specified, Wamuu sucks against zoners. But he doesn't like to really zone against Stroheim. I mean, Wamuu. Me. He doesn't really like to zone against me. He doesn't even really play that smart. He just throws out his moves whenever they're ready. If he played a little bit more calculated this match, I feel like he would be at a way better spot than I am. Maybe even 3 stocks, 3 lives. And I punished him with the 4, got guard broken, so that sucked. Probably going to take a little bit of damage. Actually, doesn't have any moves off cooldown. Blocked his stun because I knew he was going to do that. Then I hit him with Rising Gale, blocked the laser, and then try to catch him with Horn Drill. That did not work out. That was actually a pretty good combination right there. I'm probably going to lose my stock, but it's just good to get as much damage as possible. That almost worked. If I actually used Rising Gale, because he did that in the exact same spot. It's very predictable. I'm telling you, Stroheims, they don't have the same amount of brain cells as a normal human should, but GG. And with that marks the end of the video. If you did enjoy, make sure you like, sub, and hit that bell. Next video will be Bruno, so stay tuned to that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.